This is lesson 8, number 5, understanding program flow. Programs are said to have a flow of execution. You start by executing some line of code and then the next and so on. A flowchart is a common visual that's used to represent the various parts of execution that your program might take. Many people use them to help plan. This flowchart depicts a program executing one line after another until it gets to a point where it needs to make a decision. In order to determine the path to take, you state some condition. It should be a Boolean expression, something that evaluates to true or false. Here we have a simple comparison of two values, the person's age and the number 18. Do this, do that, ask the user how old they are. Is age 18 or older? The program does one thing if the condition is true and something else if the condition is false. The program can continue a single thread of execution after the condition as well. So if yes, they are 18 or older, it displays you can vote. No, it displays sorry, you can't vote. And then no matter what, it continues with the next line of code. How if statements work. If statements are the lines of code you need to change the flow while your program is running. You can write code that makes a decision that determines which lines of code should be run next. At the right is a diagram showing the elements of a basic if statement in JavaScript. There are two basic parts to an if statement. A condition to be evaluated, a Boolean expression that evaluates to true or false, code that should run if the expression was true, enclosed in curly braces. The if, this is where the condition goes, the opening curly brace and the closing curly brace, and then you would put code in between. A worked example. Program executes line by line as you would expect. It displays a message, then prompts the user to enter a number. Whatever the user types will be stored in the variable age and then proceeds to the next line. So voter verification, it displays that. Age, and then it create a variable called age and then asks the user how old they are. When the if statement is encountered, the first thing it does is evaluate the condition in the parentheses. It checks to see if, at this point in the program, the value in a variable age is greater than or equal to 18. If it is, then we say the expression returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. So if age is greater than or equal to 18, if the value stored in age is greater than or equal to 18, we write you can vote, don't forget to register. If it's false, then we skip this line of code and we go down below. These console.log statements will only execute if the expression was true. The curly braces surround all of the code that should be executed if, and only if, the expression was true. Otherwise, the entire section of code encapsulated in the if statement is skipped. Execution picks up here on the first line after the closing curly brace of the if statement. This line will always execute, but notice that if the user entered an age less than 18, the entire if statement would be skipped and it would just say, thanks for verifying. We'll fix this awkwardness soon.